All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. First of all, I know you got a big game tonight coming up against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. We'll talk about Wemby coming up in just a minute, but your squad riding a 4-game winning streak. What's been the biggest difference here over the last week or so? What are you seeing?
I think it's been a combination of facing adversity and figuring out, right? I think we got better. Obviously, we played harder. Those two losses at Houston were a good wake up call for us. I know we were missing Fox. We competed well at Golden State, but we found a way to win 2 games without Fox. Now, with him being back, obviously, we're a much better team. So that's a result of adversity, not just from the injury, but also not playing at the level that we were supposed to. And then finally we did without and now with him.
Yeah, he's back looking great as well. It seems like shots are starting to fall too. Was there ever any concern early on about some of the shooting percentages?
No, because
Mhm.
we know who we are. We know how we play. Obviously, you always want to be better and want to figure it out. One thing you can control is the quality of the shots that you're taking. Sometimes shots are not going to go in. That probably you cannot control it. But we believe in our guys. We ask them to keep moving, keep playing for each other, keep passing the ball when they're open to shoot it. So I think that's the reason why we were successful last year. And we are, and the numbers will say that we're a really good offensive team as well this year.
A really good defensive team as well. I think you guys are 13th in defensive rating. Where has that improvement come from? What are you saying defensively from the
I
squad?
think our physicality,
Mhm.
it's been much better. We're being a lot more engaged on the defensive end, starting with De'Aaron and everybody else. But I think that was a point of emphasis in training camp. We did a good job in the playoffs, but uh, when we get to that point and we advance, we're gonna need to play that way from the beginning in the regular season. You cannot navigate the regular season and be very good offensively and poor defensively, and then show up in the playoffs
Right.
and then try. So that's pretty much what happened last year. Unexperienced team. You don't know better, but now we know better, and we
Mhm.
know that when you play those type of games and series at 7 games, that's extremely important.
Let's talk about some individual defense. Keegan's getting a lot of love lately about his two-way game. We know about his offense. Are you surprised that he's been this good defensively?
No, because one thing about Keegan is he doesn't say much, but he's not afraid, and
Yeah.
he'll figure it out, and he puts it on himself. And I think that type of mentality tells you like how good of a player he is. Like you said, a two-way player right now. He's been pretty good at guarding 2 through 4, which is pretty impressive. And guarding very very good players. So we like the fact that we can use his length for certain players, catch and shoot players, some pick and roll players. He's rebounding very well. He's being very physical in the one on one, getting into bodies. So it's just great to see his growth at this point.
In the California Classic, I think we saw a glimpse of it. You guys had him guarding ones out there and everything. Where did that vision come from? Did you guys always envision that he could become that? Especially, we've seen him guarding Steph, Donovan Mitchell. Where did that vision come from for him to be that way defensively?
I think it comes from our leader, Mike Brown.
Mm.
Obviously, if not the best in my opinion, the best, but one of the best defensive coaches in this league. And he's seen a lot. He's experienced 30 years of experience. He's seen a lot more than any of us. We have a young coaching staff, so it's just good to see how much he demands from all these guys. And sometimes it's like, yeah, this guy reminds me of these other, like
Right.
his experience is a big part
Yeah.
of making decisions. And I think that he's always had high standards for Keegan. And obviously we help him with, you know, put the plan together and executing it, but starts with Mike Brown. And I think Keegan he's responding very well.
You bring up Mike Brown. We talk about it. You obviously go way back with Coach. He picked up his 400th win earlier this week. What did that mean, for you to be a part of his staff to help him get to that point?
Uh, it means a lot to me because it's hard to accomplish something like that in the NBA. Uh, I'm happy to be, his to work for him, to be his friend. And like you said, this is year 15 since he brought me here from
Mm.
Spain. So it's a full circle. We've been back together now for 2 years, and he's a person that if I could, I would work for him for the rest of my life.
Really, that's impressive. Mike's told the story, the history between you two guys. Can you refresh our memory? You guys met each other in Vegas. Is that where it started?
Yeah,
Or?
I was working out at Impact Basketball
Yeah.
workout facility that is owned by Joe Buenassar, one of the best
Mm-hmm.
player development coaches that work with NBA players, college players, any type of
Yeah.
basketball player. And I was there working for Joe, learning a lot early in my early 20s, flying from Spain to Vegas, working the summers, working all year round, finding my own way. I didn't know anybody here, got connected with him. And Mike Brown was there. He was coach of the year that year. And his son Elijah was working out. He was 14 at the time. So, Joe asked me, hey, can you work out with Elijah? And, now Elijah is 28. He's,
Right.
the father of a beautiful
Family
kid.
and everything. Yeah.
Father of a beautiful kid. So Elijah's like my, my little brother. And, started working with him, got a job, entry position job with the Cavs, 2009-10. And that's how everything started, right? Like he gave me an opportunity, started from, like I said, an entry position, worked out with Elijah and younger players there, but also with the NBA team at a different time. And, started like, a lot of people start from the bottom and try to find your way, being a foreigner and all those challenges in life. But unbelievable journey. And he's definitely a person that has changed my life.
Right. It's interesting because we talk so much about defense with the Kings, and you're a defensive minded coach, Mike Brown. But we know last year the numbers, were more slanted heavily in the offense. How much did that bother you guys? Like the offense was flowing, but you knew if you wanted to be a championship contender, you had to get those defensive numbers up.
Yeah, I think you have to believe in the process. And a lot of times is you're gonna tell the players how is it gonna be in the playoffs, and you don't know until you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been there. I was fortunate in Cleveland, then in Denver, to be part of a lot of winning teams. And one thing we did consistently was we worked at it, and the guys worked hard. Obviously, the numbers didn't always reflect how good we could be defensively. I think on the road, the numbers were good. Second half, fourth quarter, the numbers were good. Rebounding and transition defense, the numbers were good. But then in other parts of the game, like pick and roll, defending the 3-point line, we were atrocious. And at the end of the day, I think you pay for it. Then we go into the playoffs, and we tried so hard, small sample size, we were much better. And almost the script flip, right? Like we couldn't make a shot, but then we defended very well. That's the nature of the playoffs. The game slows down, and we matched that physicality. So the good thing is we gave ourselves a chance against a very good team. Right now, we know that what we need to do is to be used to defending at that level while playing offense. And when we get to the playoffs, it's not mentally and physically that hard to go through it. So right now, I think, the guys are doing a great job. I think that we just need that improvement from last year defensively. Offensively, we also want to improve, right? But we set the standard really high, and I think we can get there. The last few games we've played faster, and we've obviously made more shots. But the quality of the shots were there. So everything is coming together. I think facing adversity is very, very important for your success at the end of the road. And right now we faced, minor injury, but still Foxy being out a few games. Trey, who is a big part of our, he's one of our grown-ups. And Trey means a lot for the group. So not having him is also important, and all this adversity just makes us better.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way it should go. Not being afraid of, even when we lost games, our guys practiced better than they played.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, when that happens, you believe that sooner or later we're gonna figure it out. Obviously, coach had to challenge the group, and he did, and he's amazing at that. One of the best leaders I've been around, and right now we had a positive result,
Yeah.
but it's just 10 games at this point. We have 72 more to go, and hopefully more adversity to face, which will be good for us.
I think if you ask anybody if you thought the Kings would be 6-4 to start the season with De'Aaron missing 5 games, I think we take that, especially 2 tough losses in Houston. Now you face the San Antonio team. They're reeling a little bit. They've lost 6 in a row. What do you see about San Antonio? What kind of challenge is this tonight?
Obviously, they just drafted a very special player, right?
Yeah, I heard about that guy.
A unicorn type of player, and they're coached by, probably the best coach ever.
Yeah.
And that should be motivation as well as, like, it's a tournament game, so we're
Yes.
playing for something. I think our guys are engaged. They're very competitive, and they know that what we're building here. So it's a long road trip. It's just the second game right now,
Right.
and that traveling and changing time zones and all that, it can get challenging. But we always use, like, short-term goals and
Yeah.
long-term goals, and I think that just helps, because otherwise you get lost into
Right.
a long NBA season. So I think we'll be ready. They're a young team, like you said, a team that has lost a few in a row, and they're gonna want to come back and play hard and fight. And obviously they're talented. Every single NBA player is very talented, and for us is preparing the right way
Right.
against them, but also believe in our identity.
Yeah.
Playing fast, playing physical, playing together. So I think that it's a good challenge for us today.
Every coach I talk to, player I talk to, they know about the in-season tournament. Like they mentioned, tonight's an in-season tournament game. How important is that to you guys? Is there obviously there's focus into every game, but is there a little something extra because it's an in-season tournament game?
For sure. I think you have to embrace it,
Yeah.
and use it in a positive way. So I don't think there should be no reason to use it in a negative way, right? You're playing at the same time that you're playing for your record, you're also playing for a tournament with a prize. So
Right.
it's it should be like, it just helps us.
Yes.
And I think that also you have to explain it to the players. Then this way they can see how it works, get excited about it. And that's how all these tournaments, I grew up in Spain, and we have all these cups and everything. And obviously those have a lot of history, and they mean a lot different things. But those tournaments are very special, really cool, and excites the players, but also the fans. And I think that's what the NBA is trying to do. And I think they've done an amazing job, putting it together and explaining it. And it's not confusing at all. Like, once you watch it on TV, for sure the court is telling you that you're watching the tournament. And then the competition system is very simple, the pools, and then quarterfinal, and then the final four is in Vegas. So it's very well put together. It's cool to be part of it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's gonna be successful and stay with us for forever.
I'm gonna let you go on this one. Victor Wembanyama. Does he keep you up at night trying to game plan against him? What makes him so special?
He's very tall.
Yeah.
And he does things that with his length you haven't seen, you've never seen. So it's pretty cool. I think he's also trying to figure it out. There's strengths, potential, and weaknesses. Like I said before, we plan for this game like we do for every game. He's a big part of the game plan because of his capabilities, but at the same time, we gotta do our job and play our style of basketball. So he's a shot blocker. He can handle. He can rebound and push all that stuff. We cannot let him play free, and we just gotta get into his body and be physical and low, and try not to challenge him at the rim because it's not going to end up well for us. But no, it's obviously exciting to play against a player like this. Where looking forward, you will see how he looks like right now and how he will look like in 5 years. And it happens with, like, when you watch videos of Giannis playing when he started, and you're like, I look like a little kid, and now he's a grown man. So it's cool to be part of this and see all these superstars getting into the league.
All right, Coach, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much.